So for the vodka, I really wanted to do something different than what most people are doing out there. So we went with, like, say with the vodka, we went with the 4-grain mash bill of corn, wheat, barley, and rye. And we made it, smelled great during the fermentation. We ran it, cleaned it up, ran it through the still, and turned it into vodka. Dave and I think that was a 2:30 a.m. finish up at that point. And we proofed it down so that it wouldn't evaporate on us overnight. Went home, slept a couple hours, and came back and started getting it ready for the bottler. And proofed down. I pulled a little bit out, threw it in a glass, and went to taste it. And it was, I had in mind what I wanted out of this 4-grain vodka, but it really was explosively better than that.
Yeah.
And so I was very, very proud of it. And I say that in order to then tell you the next go round, we actually had to destroy the entire batch of vodka.
Yeah.
Because it didn't turn out right at all. In fact, not even close.
What was the thing that
we had a lactobacillus infection.
Okay.
And so it that was mildly frustrating for me at the point I was filling the fermenters, getting everything going, put in a couple of late nights to get it done a little bit quicker than what I would normally do it. And even at the end of the first day, I could already smell something was off. And came in the next day and no, something's off. And over the week, it bothered me over the weekend while I was letting it ferment. And I came in Monday morning with it just, it's sitting in the back of my mind. Something's wrong, something's wrong, something's wrong. And I walked by and all of a sudden I had a craving for yellow flavored yogurt or lemon yogurt. I said yellow lemon yogurt. And then it hit me. Oh crap. It's lactobacillus. So we tried to pull it and see if we could clean it up and get those flavors out of there. There's a lot of esters and stuff like that. And so it just wasn't, when not only were our yields less than half of what we would normally get out of it, but the flavors were just complete. I mean, even we technically did make vodka at over 190 proof, but it tasted like really, really alcoholic lemon yogurt.
Yeah.
So,
but that's where the patience comes in and staying true to your goals. You know, we don't want anything that doesn't meet our goal, our target. And so it's okay. Here we go. We're just going to toss it. So
the vodka is really unique. Tell me about specifically the 4-grain mash and how you went with this. And is there anything, I mean, honestly, it tastes like, I don't really know what is a comparable vodka that it tastes like. It's just such a unique flavor and it's almost sweet to me. And you can drink it very much like normally with vodka, I have to mix it with something I have to cut it, right? You have to put something in there. But if I just same with the gins, and we'll get to those here in a minute, but I've noticed with the vodka, just a soda water for me in drinking it. And I'm like, the flavor is so good that I don't really need to mix much with it. But how did you get to this idea to do it this way? Does anyone else do it like this? And just talk about some of the genesis of the vodka.
So I have tasted a couple other 4-grain vodkas. One was not really very good in my opinion. The other was actually made by one of my mentors and teachers from Moonshine University. And theirs was very, very good.
Yeah.
And so that kind of got my head swirling around doing something like that rather than just doing 100% grain or 100% wheat or whatever we were going to come up with. And so as I was kind of working out the recipe, I knew I wanted corn for just sheer alcohol volume out of it. But then we wanted some nice flavors out of it instead of just throwing in barley or wheat or rye specifically to say that we put it in there. I wanted to put it in there as actual flavor and accessory grains.
Right.
And so that's what we did. And I like to say two things about the vodka. One, the first thing I say is it's a very complex neutral spirit. Like I say, we distill it to almost 194, 196 proof during the middle of the run. It finishes, in fact, this last batch we made finished at 193 proof coming off the condenser. And so it's nice and cleaned up. One of the things I as a distiller do, especially with the vodkas, I make very narrow cuts, cutting out the astringent heads as well as the overly oily or what you can get with some rancid-ish vegetal flavors in the tails.
Mm-hmm.
I made sure to keep those completely cut out of the distillate for the vodka because I wanted those grains to shine through. And so as those came through, it's vodka for the whiskey drinker is the other thing I like to say about it.
Yeah.
It's very complex. You do get the grains. You've got kind of a sweet entry with the corn and the wheat. The barley comes through in the middle, and then the rye kind of gives you a little bit of a wave goodbye as it leaves the palate kind of thing. It's got that little spice note right at the end.
Right.
So it's a lot of fun.
And vodkas purposely have been and historically been kind of neutral.
Yeah.
By design.
Right.
And we just wanted something that part of our philosophy at some level is unapologetic. Our rye is going to be a monster. And we wanted something that gave you something to kind of identify. And the vodka fell into that same style, same process.